Morning, everybody. Chad, Adler Farms. Woo! We got a little rain shower last night. Came out of nowhere. Didn't have my tractor put up, didn't have the side-by-side put up. Nothing was under cover. But it's not that they didn't fare well. It's just, it was a lot of rain quickly. So, anyway, everything's wet, but it did cut the humidity. Or I should say it dropped the temperature. But the humidity is like through the roof now, so we're sweating in places that aren't fun and sweating in already at 8:15 this morning, so here's what it is. If you haven't seen our most recent video, ArrowQuip, game-changing equipment in the cattle handling industry and world, if you will. We've got a hay ring from them that I need to bring down here so they're all in one spot. They worked with us last year, sent us a hay ring, and then this year they sent us the 8700 series Q-Catch with the head holder and the brisket bar, if you will, the chest bar. Oh my gosh, man, this is amazing. And then they sent us, oh man, I think there's 1, 2, 3, there's 3 gates over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8-foot panels to go with our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-foot panels. My goodness. And yes, these are laying down. I'm kind of trying to figure out how I want this thing. ArrowQuip has something called the Homesteader, which is like a model. Like if you call them and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I want, they recommend, you know, certain names, like, you know, they call them stuff, you know, like this is called Q-Catch, but like the bale feeder is called the Guardian, things like that. So there's a Healer, which I believe is like a mobile setup. Anyway, yeah, you can call them and you can say, hey, I'm not sure what I want. I've got 10 head, you know, what do I do with this, that, or the other? Hang on a minute. I know. Don't rush me, Cabela. Don't rush me. I'm trying to get like a plan in my head of what to do. And they've got one. They told me, they were like, hey, we'll set this up. We'll show you where we think you should put things for your situation. But I was like, no, I want to show that anybody can just call and order something and set it up. So I've had these panels over here and I've been rearranging them a couple times. You can move them by yourself. Remember, and I'm just whatever here. I'm 6'4", 250, so I can move them by myself. Brian moves them by himself. He's the guy that helped me at Eubanks, but he's not, you know, the guy's got like a 500-acre ranch, okay? So he's moved heavy stuff before. You'd probably say, what are you doing? Get a tractor when you're moving those. I want to set it up. I want to figure it out, the best way to do it. Then run the animals through it, which a lot of you guys suggested. Like, don't try and work them the first time they've ever seen it. Start feeding them around it, get them used to it, help them understand that it's a safe object and an okay object. And so anyway, yeah, that was a lot of talking for just basically telling you I'm going to dump the cubes by the panels and the Q-Catch. Hang on a minute. Look at the chickens. Woo! Whew. Morning, buddy. What you doing? See the teethers. See the teethers? Uh-huh. Can we see the teethers? Yeah, you probably should stay right beside me. Are we missing anybody? Where's Ginger? There's Ginger. I know it's kind of crowded in here, isn't it? Pretty cool. Morning, Sonny. Morning. Tipsy. Oh, CJ. Goodness, man. So you can see how tall these bars are. Somebody was asking me. These are PA-10s. So they're 6 feet tall, if that makes sense. And 6 feet's pretty big. And also they weigh like, I should have mentioned that when I was talking about moving them by yourself. I believe these weigh like, is it 200 pounds? I think so. So yeah, get some help if you're gonna move them. The nice thing is these are heavy pressure panels, okay? They're made for much bigger animals than I've got, much bigger. Originally, when I started looking, I was like, man, give me some 12s. You know, I can cover more, still finding wire. I can cover more area, but you gotta remember, if you have a 12, I would think you'd want that to be a permanent wall, if you will, or a permanent panel. Like I wouldn't want to move 12s around my farm. More, you know, mobility, being able to move it if I ever needed to. Like for example, Tina, wherever she's at, our alpaca is definitely leaning on the doors of a baby alpaca, a cria. She's definitely going that. These panels will be great and I can move them around, but if they were 12s, holy cow, man. Holy cow, getting them to stand beside them. I was hoping Tipsy would get a little closer to one, but I'll show you how tall they are compared to June. So you can see here, not likely any Highland is gonna jump up and put their feet, you know, 6 feet in the air and go over something on top of that. But you can see how much taller Bunny is than June already. And she's not a mini, she's just a Highland. Now, she's only, is she 2.5? I believe she's 2.5 years old. So got a little ways to go and can still fill out. Probably won't get too much taller. Certainly not noticeably taller. What in the world? Don't make it weird, man. CJ's got a little bit of the yucky butt. But CJ also eats. I mean, look at his rib cage compared to everybody else. I mean, none of our animals are starving. Not even close. If anything, they're overfed. That's a healthy steer. That's a well-fed steer. A very well-fed that never misses a meal. First one to the plate, that kind of thing. So it has a lot to do with genetics. I mean, Tipsy's a tall cow, but she's not really a huge cow. There are bigger longhorns than Tipsy, much bigger. Goodness, dude. He is so weird. You are so strange, dude. So, by the way, his horns, they still grow funny. It's because somebody tried to disput him and they didn't do it right. The right horn, which would be over here, his right, it grows and then it falls off. Same with the left. It actually grows into itself and it like pushes itself off. So thankfully they turn in like that instead of growing into his head. But I did order, thank you, cowboy. I did order the tool for cutting the horn the same time I ordered. She just changed her mind about Cabela. I ordered a calf puller to have on reserve in case we ever need one. So ordered the tool to cut Bruce's horn if we ever need to, because having these horned animals, I would never want to dehorn one of these longhorns or even June. You know, could they stab something and get in a weird way and need their horn cut off to save their life? Absolutely. You can see Tipsy, if this is 6 feet, that's 5 feet. So Tipsy's back is probably 4.5 feet, like 4.5 feet at the withers. So it's pretty good. They do make taller panels. They make longer panels. They make shorter panels. Make all kinds of stuff. Patrick's actually behind her, but you can't even see him. You know, last year we hadn't had all this brush hogged and dozed yet. And there was a couple times where it got quite, you know, interesting, because we also had 2 Baldies in here with 2 Highlands, and one of the Highlands was really ornery. Tessie, she went to live at a different farm. From what I understand, she's doing great. I don't know if she got bred. They would tell me if she did. But if a heifer won't breed, the heifer's no good to a farm. And I think they had like 30 or 40 head. So some of you guys that are asking where Tessie went and how she's doing, do you really want me to answer that? Because I didn't reach out to him. I told him it's your animal. But anyway, that goes back to my point. Last year we had the ornery steers. We had Tessie, who was definitely ornery and actually sought you out to prove her dominance. And we had some panels. Now they were great, but they weren't very tall, and they certainly weren't as heavy at all. Feeling pretty safe if we ever have to like go on vacation or something. We can set up a system, put the bunk feeders inside of these panels, and whoever would need to feed can come down and feed and not have an issue. Here's a good representation of how tall this Q catch is. Pretty cool. Look how big Patrick's getting. My goodness, man. So this is actually a perfect time. Let's see, April 17th, May, June, July. He's still got 2 more months on the farm. He still is definitely drinking milk. He's not weaned. But when we wean him, hi buddy, when we go to sell him, somebody may want him banded, and we can offer that now in a very, very safe situation. So it's pretty cool. And by the way, if you go to ArrowQuip's TikTok, there's actually a hashtag like horned cattle, like cattle with horns, being worked in the Q catch. Okay, now are they running 110-inch longhorns through there? No, I get it. Okay, but in case you've forgotten, there's 10 acres right here, and I'd love to put, this is his 10 acres, Mr. and Mrs. A's. I'd love to put like 4 or 5 Baldies or some Hereford heifers. I really like those Baldies we had. Their demeanor, they were ornery, but they weren't dangerous. I'd like to run some of those over there, and if I had 6 or 8 of those, they're not likely going to be as friendly as this mix, because we're probably not going to be over there every single day, because they will be, now if we got heifers and cows over there, that's different, but if we have like 6 steers, probably not going to go over there and cuddle them, so they're not going to be as friendly. Or even when we pulled Frank, dude, legit, man, he's like a Houdini Frank now. Anyway, even when we pulled Frank, didn't have any way to like corral June. Wasn't fun, wasn't easy. Actually, Brian that worked with us getting this ArrowQuip last week was like, hey man, I pulled a calf with my Dewey's truck a couple weeks ago, like a winch on the back of a bumper of a truck in a field. I mean, you know, you got 500 acres, cow's gonna pick where it, you know, you can't be like, hey, you're gonna have a baby, you come up here. Okay, you can't tell the cow to walk into the barn or into the chute. She's clearly not afraid of it. She has certainly seen it before. And yep, I'll just give her space. That's not a scar, by the way, or it is a scar. It's a broken J from Lone Rock Ranch. It's their brand. He's got one too. Boy, man, I don't know that he's got the pasty butt as much as he just laid in his own poop while it rained. Next time you need to sleep with your booty in the air, brother. Get some of that off of there. What's up, buddy? What's you doing, buddy? What's you doing? There's cubes everywhere, but they're not able to like run each other off entirely because the walls are in the way. So it's just a good little system. I love it. I'm very excited, very pleased, very grateful. All right, you guys were asking about the rooster that Dad brought. He is 100% living at the neighbors. He's still alive, he's doing well. We actually hear him crowing occasionally. Cowboy used to go over there, but now he doesn't. Maybe because he thinks there's a rooster over there that just came out of nowhere, because he never met that rooster. The rooster was here the day Dad dropped him off, and then when Dad and I couldn't find him when he left, he'd actually moved over to the fence line and was underneath a cedar tree, and that's where our neighbor found him when she was feeding later. She sent us a pic and said, is he yours? Said, now he's yours. Give him a good life. And we're happy he's over there. I wouldn't mind one more rooster though from Dad. I think I'd like to have one of those white ones. Let's go show you something we bought yesterday. Pretty excited about it. Look out, dog. Check it out. Oh, and by the way, some of you guys griping about this. I'm aware this thing squeaks, okay? Sometimes in the morning when I get up, I'm getting old enough, I squeak. I don't really know where it comes from. But I got to bed, things click and pop and squeak. I bet half y'all can relate. And if you think you don't squeak when you get up, it's probably because you can't hear either. There's two, I don't know if I can lift this since there's stuff in the bed. There's two rubber pads in there. I've WD-40'd them. Hang on. I'm aware that it squeaks, okay? So when some of you guys are in the comments and you can barely finish the video because this is squeaking, man, I'd hate to live in y'all's world. My goodness, man. Every little thing drives you nuts like that. You know, if you got OCD or ADD, I doubt you're watching this channel anyway, because I don't lose sleep over stuff like that. So I'm actively searching for it. I've put WD-40 on those things. A snake. Nope. We ordered a mini split and it came with some rubber feet we didn't end up using because we installed it somewhere else a different way. So I've put different rubber feet on it. The only thing that works is driving around with sandbags or cement bags, my bad. The only thing that works is driving around with cement bags in the bed. So I don't know, man. I hate to say we just got a squeaky machine, but we'll figure it out. I'm just still chasing it. Look at Cabela's paw, man. Jeez. Here they are. Check them out. Two 20-foot double wall pipes for our culvert. Hello. Pretty stinking cool. So my buddy Brandon at Elite Earthworks, who I've never met, grew up like right down the road from him. He's got a channel, I'll link it down below. Ordered these yesterday, they showed up, they're ready to go. We just need to level our concrete box. You can see it's how it's leaning to the west a little bit. It said the male end goes into the concrete and the female end, which has got like a rubber gasket on it for the next one to follow it. But he said, put one of them in, start filling around it, and then put the next one in. And you don't want it like right up against your dam wall. You want to give it a little bit of space. So, but we'll make it, we'll do it right. I'm talking to Brandon. He's coaching me on this. This is what he does for a living. I'll link his channel down below. He doesn't do this stuff for a living, but it's Elite Earthworks. So you can imagine all the things he does. So big soupy mess. And I had taller boots on. I'd walk over there, but actually I could probably, that looks pretty solid. This is clay. So even when it's wet, it's still pretty solid. But this needs to be drugged that way or possibly drugged this way, which I can do with my tractor, but not today because I don't have any, like the tractor would slip. But rain is not in the forecast and it wasn't even supposed to rain last night. So we will definitely get it sorted. I'm just excited to have it. But let's go up and look at Miss Tina, our alpaca. She has not had a baby yet, but man, yesterday she was barely moving and we thought it might happen. So let's go take a look at her and see if she's any closer this morning. She's one of our older alpacas. And I'm guessing, just like in humans, because she's up and around, the baby's probably not kicking. Probably rocking the baby to sleep while she walks. You know what I'm saying? Clip that I got of her yesterday when she was down, she's resting. She's kind of sought refuge over there up against the fence where Cagney is, which is good. Cagney's our neighbor's LGD. She's an amazing dog. It'd be interesting that an alpaca finds safety on a fence line with a dog 10 feet from her. She was laying down. That baby was kicking like crazy. Even when it's cloudy, these views don't get old. What did you roll in? Ew. 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 Rosie, what are you doing, little lady? You know, I'm kind of hoping that it's a boy, because we probably won't breed her again. And then we can use the boy with her or her. And I'm hoping she has a girl, or I guess, so she's pregnant too. See how round her belly is? We think she's just like 2 months behind, because she gave birth to her in May last year when our male showed up. So he obviously didn't breed our female for probably 60 days. So we think they're probably 2 months apart. But awesome if one of them had a boy and one of them had a girl, because we could just separate them. And by the time the boy's old enough to breed, Rosie will certainly be there. But yeah, look how big she is. But she's not near as puffy on the backside as Miss Tina is. So her hind end up there is pretty puffy. Anyway, I tried to get her, sorry for the sweat in the beard, it's that time of year. I tried to get her to, you know, see if the baby would kick while we were on the farm on the video this morning, but you could clearly see it in that little short that I shared, so just yesterday. I don't know why it's called a cria. I don't know why a baby goat's called a goatlet. If a cria hits the ground today, before this video airs, we will absolutely show it. But man, look at that. Look at that sky. You want some camera time? You want some camera time? Huh? Want to face scratch? Want to face scratch? Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Man, we've got a lot of work to do right here. This telephone pole to the shed or the burn pile, as deep as the burn pile, it looks like this under those, like all these rocks. They're just mixed into this mess right here, and we just can't, it would just destroy my equipment trying to run through there. Get some kind of rock rake or something. I know I've got the box blade, but that box blade, as much as I love it for dirt work, it is not made for pulling rocks out. I mean, it will if the ground is loose, but some of these rocks, we don't know when we go to pull them if they're like if I was to hook my box blade on one sticking out of the ground, I don't know if it's this big or this big. Yeah, see what I'm up against? I never know what I'm going to be pulling out of there. So, and if it's that big, it'll just bend that box blade, and then that's worthless. That's not good use of your equipment. So we'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure a landscape rake is kind of made to do that. It's so bad. And like I said, even a landscape rake, if you've got a rock that's 4 feet long and only 6 inches of it sticking out of the ground, a landscape rake's not going to do you any good. All right, I'm going to take in some of these views. May try and run the box blade a little bit on the pond and do a little bit of work before we get the day started. And then Ray and I are taking a trip. You guys can come with us. And yeah, I think that's it. Just left Thomasville Homes. It was one of the getting close to final meetings. So we should know Monday or Tuesday where to start and possibly which direction we want to go. This is a bid. I mean, they're giving us an estimate, but that's a bid. And we will go from there. But you liked what you saw, right? They did a great job. Their slogan, as we've mentioned, is when details matter.
Yes.
So I would say they're very detail oriented. They even have a picture of our family hanging on the wall.
Oh, and they've put
got
Maggie in
Yep, there's a bed with Maggie in it. I didn't realize she was going to be in the house, but thanks, Maddie. And that's Maddie. Maddie's one of the designers. She put Maggie in the house for us. So you may have seen a couple of pictures. One of them might be the thumbnail. I'm not sure. We're exhausted. We're tired. We actually took up about 4 hours of their time because they are trying to grow their online presence and their abilities, and they do travel and they will build. So we'll link their information down below. Some of you guys have reached out to them. Remember, no matter where you live, they can draw up your house for you. But if you're local here, they can build it for you. So, and local could be several hours. So all you gotta do is reach out. We'll put their information down below. But anyway, that's it. I don't mean to rush it, but I'm hungry. We've got 2 ribeyes and a pound of beef waiting on us in the grill. So we're gonna go light those up and get started, right?
I'm hungry too.
All right. Well, you got a video coming out either shortly after this one or tomorrow morning. But either way, you can look for it in the top comment.
If it doesn't come out tonight, it'll probably be tomorrow evening, not tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening.
Just kidding. I stand corrected. Look for it in the top comment. We'll pin it so you can find it. It's a good little video. So it's kind of a bonus. She normally does 1 video a week, but this week you got 2.
Yeah.
So you're treating them. With that said, we don't mean to be short. We're just really, 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 really hungry. But we had a great time at Thomasville. We were actually going to go eat, but we wanted to come home and close this out for you guys. And it's just kind of hard to pass up these views and enjoy steak and
your burgers and steak.
Food on our land. Right, right.
It's a little different.
Right. I mean, this is a great view right now, except for that. Nothing ruins a view more than that guy.
That's not true. He's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous when he's sound asleep at night, not going, boo, boo, boo. So anyway, you guys stay tuned. We've got lots planned. So y'all be good. Don't work too hard. Don't make it weird. Go tell Thomasville howdy down below. Deuces. God bless.